Morning, everybody. Welcome to the April 9th Bifold Users Group meeting. I'm Jason. I'll be your host today. This is part of the Linux Foundation and the OpenWallet Foundation, so the code of conduct is in effect. You can find the link in the chat and on my screen. I think the first thing to note is that we're at a new wiki page. The URL is in the chat. Please make a note of it, because this is where we'll be posting notes going forward. And I will update the Zoom link for the meeting on the 23rd. We'll be meeting in the OpenWallet Foundation's Zoom, whatever account. So with that said, the new page has the calendar. You can subscribe to it if you want to keep up to date. It does have our meetings in there, but you'll always be able to find them. All right, time. These are all UTC time zones just for convenience. So don't be shocked at the 4 p.m. Yeah, the Zoom link will be there at the top. All right, moving on. Close that. This should be a quick meeting today. Not too much to go over, but one or two important things nonetheless. First of all, if anybody would like to log on to the new wiki page and add your name for posterity, you can add yourself as an attendee, and you'll be recorded for history. If anybody would like to introduce themselves, say hi, or tell us what you're up to with the OpenWallet Foundation Bifold project, we'd love to hear from you. I will pause for maybe 15 seconds or so to let you unmute and chime in. Right. Sounds golden. All right. First noteworthy thing is we're migrating to the OpenWallet Foundation. We've been doing it for some time. We have our new wiki page in place, and I've put the meeting for the last meeting in place, and I still have to upload the meeting before that. I have to upload the video and audio for it, but the two that we've done under the OpenWallet Foundation, the meeting notes have been created. I was using HackMD for a short period just so we could record some stuff there, but you'll be able to find the old recordings there, and we're going to use it going forward. So bookmark that wiki OpenWallet Foundation meeting wiki. I will update the Zoom to be updated. And yeah, I think we've got most of our services updated already. But GitHub's moved over, Wiki's moved over, Zoom, there's maybe just our NPM namespace is the last thing to do. Okay. With that said, let's rip on to project updates. Well, actually, I'm just going to put this as one. So Daisy, my finger's doing. I'm going to move this up because this is just a project update. So yeah, we have a pull request, and probably the most important thing of today's meeting is there is a pull request in flight to move to Credo, formerly known as AFJ 050. I'm just going to bring that up for fun because it is an important one. And it does introduce W3C and OnCred support. That's where we use that format as the envelope. It is done. It has a couple of conflicts, which should probably only take a couple of minutes to sort out. So either I'll do these today or see if somebody from Animo can do it. But this one will be merged probably today or tomorrow, and then we will have to. I guess if you're using Bifold as a package in your wallet, you'll have to update and then continue using that going forward. So expect this to be a notable change. Expect it to be pretty cool because we get W3C support, so supporting other credential, I guess, formats. Although it's still a non-creds in W3C, I think it's still an important change, and expect it. Yeah, it's going to be cool. Anyone got any questions or comments on that? Right. That's going to be the biggest change coming down. A couple of other pull requests, but they're tiny. This is a doc updates. I just updated everything to say OWF from Hyperledger. This is a history module. Mustaf is not on the call, but he's working on kind of an audit log, so you can track where your credentials were used in your wallet. It's not shared with anybody. It's private to your wallet. So he's working on that, and then these are just some small changes. Okay, that was good. To our back to our meeting. So yeah, this is going to be done shortly. So what else are we up to? Project refactoring. This one we've mentioned a couple of times on the call, but there's not, I would say there's not a lot of huge changes coming down the pike for Bifold, besides moving to OpenWallet Foundation, getting Credo 050 in, which I guess are pretty big changes, but we're going to focus on just refactoring and cleanup quite a bit in the next several months. I'd say moving into the summer just to make it easier for people to use, people to contribute to, and just clean up the code and architecture a little bit. So that's coming down the pike, and you can expect some, I guess I would call them exciting changes. I mean, it's going to make the code cleaner and easier to use. So that'll be noteworthy. Just going to make a quick note on that. One of the things we're working on for that is I think we've overly used the folder app, and that's going to be one of the larger changes. We just don't want to do it while that Credo pull request is in flight, but it's going to change, get rid of I guess the app with a capital A directory and rename it to source, SRC. I just think that app is actually the app, which is your iOS and Android apps, whereas the source is the source. So we're going to change that. I think that'll be a notable change. So if you're using this in your day-to-day work, expect that to be kind of a bigger change that might impact work if you have to do rebasing and merging. So keep in mind that's coming down the pike, but it's got to be done just to keep the code a little bit more easier for people to rationalize about. So that's it for refactoring. Please feel free to chime in if anybody's got questions or thoughts. I think one person joined late. Just noting that there's a new Bifold wiki page. The link's in the chat, and the Zoom link will be updated for next meeting because that's where we're going to continue. We'll be continuing under the OpenWallet Foundation Zoom. And if they haven't got it in place by then, whatever that link is on the page, just trust it because that's where we'll be. Okay. Refactoring and then publishing, I think, is the last noteworthy thing to go over. So we now that we're in the OpenWallet Foundation, we're going to have to change our NPM namespace, I think. And we also want to publish we want to publish a 1.0.0 release of Bifold. So we've been kind of relying on the alpha releases forever. and that's been okay. But I think would like to actually publish 1.0.0. I'm not quite sure how to do it. I'm going to try to follow whatever Credo does because they've been doing it for some time. And with that, it'll be hopefully a little easier to integrate into your projects. You won't be using like a daily changing alpha. You can rely on a more stable release cycle. And yeah, I kind of expect us to do that. And I think one other thing we will be doing is I'm going to set here again, clean up the old stale issues in Bifold. We'd like to clean up some of the stale issues. I feel like if an issue's been open for like, I don't know, a year or more, it's probably not going to get much TLC. So maybe just clean out some stale issues. And if they're important to people, they can be recreated or resurrected from closed. So I expect to see some issues in there. So if I go into Bifold, oh, is that where we were? Bifold wallet. Guess this is us. Yeah, 64 open issues. And I think quite a lot of these are getting a bit long in the tooth. If I go back, they go back to 2021. So I don't know. I think that's probably a bit stale. So we're going to kind of close a lot of these out. And if people want them reopened, just reopen them. We'll try to put issues in here a bit more consistently so that you can better track some of the larger changes I've been talking about. So that's kind of all I got for today. Uh, Anybody got questions or want to chit chat about anything in general? Please feel free to chime in. All right. 20-minute meeting today. So we'll talk to you in another 2 weeks where we can continue the conversation. Take care, everybody. Bye for today.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Have a good